You know a dish is really good when it makes such an impression on you that you can remember it in detail 45 years later. It was at the Red Lobster restaurant, 1976, Springfield, Missouri, when I had this dish for the first time, and I can remember it so distinctly to this very day. Welcome to All Things Food. I'm John Woods, and I love to cook, but I cook to love. And I really enjoy cooking side dishes. In this series of videos, we're going to explore some of the great side dishes that will go with any entree from A to Z. So let's talk food. We're going to let you talk about the recipe today. What are we cooking?
We are cooking some knockoff Cheddar Bay biscuits.
And is that a knockoff from the Red Lobster?
It is, yes.
I imagine, and I tell you what, in my opinion, they're every bit as good, if not better.
I think they're better.
And so let's start cooking, okay? Tell us how to do it.
Well, anytime you need biscuits, of course, you've got to have your flour and your butter and your liquid. In this case, we're using cream and water rather than milk because it gives it a richer flavor.
Yeah, and that was kind of an accident yesterday because you asked me for milk and I didn't have any milk. I said, well, I have heavy whipping cream, and you, through your knowledge, took the liberty to adjust the recipe. You added water to it, so we kind of made a half and half, and they were absolutely perfect. We're going to repeat that today, okay?
Right, let's do it.
So what do we do? Start with the dry ingredients?
Yes, we start with put our dry ingredients together.
That would be the flour there.
Of course, we've got our flour.
Okay.
And we need our baking powder.
Baking powder, and about how much was that?
That's 1 tablespoon.
And then how much flour was that?
2 cups of flour.
2 cups of flour, okay.
And then we have 1 tablespoon of sugar.
Sugar, okay.
Add it. Now we've got salt. We're going to add
everything's better. Everything's better with salt, okay.
And just half a teaspoon of our garlic powder.
Okay, that garlic powder, okay.
Yes.
And then we're going to stir those together.
Stir the dry stuff, yes. Now that we have all of our dry stuff incorporated,
okay,
we need our butter.
Butter,
we have about 1/3 cup of butter. It's cubed and it is at room temperature.
Okay.
And we're going to put it in. And this is the fun part because the easiest way to do it is with your fingers.
With your fingers, that's right. Do you remember the biscuits, the Laird biscuits, buttermilk biscuits I made in class?
Fabulous.
Well, thank you. And so I used really cold butter for that. In fact, I used all my ingredients were very cold. And I'll do a video on that, on how to make buttermilk biscuits. But so this is kind of room temperature, okay?
You do not want it melted because you don't want it.
Oh yeah, we don't want it melted, definitely. Yeah, exactly.
You want it soft enough to work.
And you don't want it real soft either. You just kind of firm, okay? I notice it's firm.
What we're looking for is smashing it all together until we wind up with a consistency like thick breadcrumbs. Yeah. All right, so we've got it incorporated here. The texture we've got, kind of like sand.
Yeah, it's like little peas in there, kind of, in a way. Okay, good. And we don't want to overwork it because if we do, then it melts the butter, and then we have
different. Then you have a problem because you want a heavy, thick biscuit.
Yeah, okay, good. We don't want that.
Now we add the cheese. And what I have is 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese.
Sharp cheddar.
Honestly, the recipe called for 1 cup, but you can't have too much.
And notice that this is kind of a coarser. It's not the real fine, feathery stuff. It's a coarser shred.
Want the cheese through it.
Yeah. And if you have a grater and a block of cheese, you can do it yourself.
So work that in with the flour a little bit. Just kind of coat the cheese. We have our 1 cup of liquid. Okay,
and that's the half and half. We put milk or heavy cream and half water. You could use all milk, or you could use half and half.
Yes.
So
it's all in your preference and what you want to wind up.
You know, one thing we've learned about cooking, you can have one recipe and have 100 different ways to do it.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that one's right or better than the other. It's just the way we feel and the way we just learn to improvise as we need to. That's the great thing about what we do.
This is probably the most important part of this recipe.
Okay.
Is to do not overmix this.
Okay.
You just want your ingredients wet.
Just wet.
You don't want to smush them together. You don't want to mix them super hard. You just want them wet.
Right. So I'm going to spray this pan here with some spray pan. And right now we have the oven preheating at 400 degrees back there, okay? So now that we had a chance to clean up, it's time to do the good part. I see you have a big scoop over there.
I do. That makes your biscuits the same size, which makes them cook
Yeah,
more evenly.
and that's important.
Yes. I'm just going to get a scoop
Scoop, okay.
and scoop it right on there.
Now, you know, when I made the other biscuits, you know, I put them right together because they expand and they cook, they rise better, but we don't do that with these. These need to be spaced.
Golden browned all the way around.
Exactly.
You get that nice crust all around.
Did we cook these with we're in a convection oven, did we cook these with the fan on or off?
Yes, the fan was on low.
Okay, good.
So at
Okay.
home, a person may want to increase the temperature or the cooking time by a little bit.
A little bit, okay.
accommodate.
And keep in mind that everyone's oven's a little different, so you just have to make adjustments according to your particular oven. And how many biscuits are we going to get out of this? About 8, it looks like?
We're going to get 8 out of it.
8 of them, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
We may have used this.
Y'all may have probably made yesterday, you probably made like several recipes because I know I ate 8 of them.
Yeah, I think we made
Yeah,
some
well, okay, I was about to say, yeah. At least 8. Had some in the morning, almost 3 a.m.
And now you have some more for
Yeah.
3 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. It was a joy.
Well, I'm glad you liked them. Well, these are my very favorite kind of biscuits, and that's
Okay.
why I wound up finding this recipe and learning to make them, because, you know, Red Lobster can get expensive.
They can. So because I'm the smart professor, okay, I'm going to put these in the oven while you go wash the dishes.
Okay.
Okay? See you in a bit. So Sarah, look at this. I mean,
Aren't they beautiful?
those are beautiful. I tell you, I wish the people watching could smell this kitchen right now. If heaven has smells and aroma, it would be this kitchen right here.
Yes,
I mean,
totally agree.
we have garlic going on, cheddar cheese. We just caramelized onions. Just cooked some Oriental green beans here a minute ago. Cooked salmon. I mean, you don't get any better than that. But this here is going to be like the icing on the cake. So. These turned out really good, so what do we do with them from here besides eat them as quick as we can while they're hot?
All we need to do now is mix up our garlic butter topping and brush them down.
Okay, we're going to turn as they say in the Army, fire in the hole. So we got
We've already
fire
got
here.
a little bit of butter in there.
Butter going, and we're going to melt it down.
Yep, that's about.
And we're going to watch, what do we do? One thing we learned in cooking that we have to do with
We have to control our heat.
we have to control our heat.
We do not want to burn our butter.
We don't want to burn the butter. So,
just want it to
and
melt.
have we seen anyone do that before? Lots of times. Yep. Okay.
While it's melting, we can go ahead and add in our half a tablespoon or so.
Yeah, we
Again,
can-
this is another place where it depends on taste. If you like a lot of garlic, dump the garlic.
Yeah, and salt too. And one thing as well is you can always add to, you can't
Exactly, you cannot take away.
take away, okay? Okay, what do we do here?
About a teaspoon of it.
About a teaspoon. Okay. Throw that right in there. I'm going to control my heat a little bit. We'll get over here with hot butter and just kind of dab that on. All right, I think
There you have it.
we've had it. So,
Easy peasy.
so what do we call these?
Knockoff Cheddar Bay biscuit.
Knockoff Cheddar Bay, Red Lobster, you better watch out because Sara is in the house. So these are wonderful. So I'm going to give you the honor of, let me give you one that's smaller.
Yeah, give me a smaller one.
So-
You can have the big one.
Yeah, exactly. Now you figured me out.
beautiful that is?
It is beautiful. Thank you for joining us today on 50 side dishes that you'll love to cook with my special guest, one of my students, Sara Hill. And we want you to come back next week. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like it, share with other people. Until next week, love to cook and cook to love. I'm John Woods with All Things Food.